What if everyone you loved forgot who you were? What if every victory came at the cost of every memory of you? For Peter Parker, that's not just a nightmare, it's his new reality. The city never sleeps, but tonight New York feels colder, quieter. A drizzle falls over the skyline, neon lights reflecting off the wet streets. Somewhere high above, a lone figure stands on the edge of a rooftop. His mask hides his face, but not his loneliness. This is Peter Parker. The world knows Spider-Man, but no one knows Peter anymore. The sacrifice he made to save his friends has left him invisible, not just behind a mask, but in his real life too. The camera glides past familiar places, the coffee shop where MJ works, the streets where Ned once laughed beside him, the classrooms where he dreamed of a normal life. They're all there, but none of them remember him. To them, he's just another stranger passing by. A voice cuts through the silence. Peter's inner thoughts. Every day I tell myself this is a fresh start. A brand new day. But if no one remembers who I am I really starting over or just disappearing? Slow motion shots fill the screen. Peter walking alone down a crowded street, unnoticed. Peter staring at his phone, no names in his contacts. Peter stitching his torn Spider-Man suit in the glow of a flickering lamp. These aren't just the struggles of a hero, they're the quiet battles of a young man who has given everything. The city moves on. Crime never stops. Spider-Man is still needed. But behind the mask, Peter struggles with a truth that cuts deeper than any wound. The people he loves most are living their lives without him, and he can never remind them of who he is. The rain grows heavier. A police siren echoes in the distance. Peter pulls his mask tighter and swings into the storm, his silhouette vanishing against the lightning-struck sky. The narration returns. The world may not remember Peter Parker, but Spider-Man. Spider-Man will always rise again. The screen fades to black, and with it, the promise of a new beginning, fragile, uncertain, but powerful. The morning sun cuts through the blinds of a tiny apartment. A cracked alarm clock buzzes on a nightstand stacked with overdue bills. Peter stirs awake, his face half-shadowed, his eyes carrying the weight of battles no one remembers. The world outside moves like any ordinary day, but for him, every moment feels like he's walking in someone else's story. We see him in class silent, unnoticed. His hand hovers in the air as if ready to answer, then drops when no one looks his way. The professor calls on another student, and laughter fills the room. For Peter, it's as if he's trapped between two lives, one where he once belonged, and one where he's just a ghost. Later he passes MJ at the bakery counter. She's busy serving coffee, smiling at strangers. For a brief second, her eyes meet his. There's a flicker of something, recognition maybe, but it fades as quickly as it came. She hands him his order, calling him sir. The word cuts deeper than a blade. He forces a smile, but his hands tremble as he leaves. Peter's inner voice whispers, I saved her life. I saved them all. But in doing that, I lost mine. In the evening, Peter works on his old sewing kit, patching the red and blue fabric of his suit. The needle moves through the cloth, each stitch a reminder that Spider-Man is the only identity left to him. No family, no friends, just the mask. Then, a moment of contrast on campus. He notices a girl with fiery red hair, sharp eyes, carrying herself with defiance. Sadie Sink's character. She's arguing passionately in class, challenging the system, unafraid to stand alone. Peter watches from afar, something in her courage stirring a spark within him. She doesn't know who he is. She doesn't need to. But for the first time in weeks, he feels seen, even if only from a distance. The city looms outside his window as night falls again. Peter stares at the skyline, whispering to himself, a brand new day. That's what I asked for. But maybe it's not mine alone to live. The city breathes with tension. Police sirens scream in the night. Screens in Times Square flicker with breaking news, violent attacks, unexplained blackouts, whispers of something new rising in the shadows. Spider-Man swings through the chaos, but every victory feels smaller, every enemy more ruthless. He can save the day, but he can't shake the feeling that something is watching him. We cut to an abandoned Oscorp laboratory. its walls covered in half-finished experiments, broken glass, and forgotten blueprints. A figure moves in the dark, hands brushing over old tech with a purpose. A distorted voice murmurs, "A city without memory. The perfect place to rewrite its future." The villain is never fully revealed. Only fragments, an armored hand, a chilling laugh. A glimpse of a mask lit by sparks. Meanwhile, Peter's double life grows harder to carry. He fights crime at night, but in the daylight, he sees headlines branding Spider-Man as reckless, dangerous, even unnecessary. Without Peter Parker's support system, no Ned to hack systems, no MJ to ground him, he is a soldier fighting alone. His web lines snap in the wind, his swings falter. His body bears bruises no one notices. Sadie Sink's character steps deeper into the story. We see her digging through archives, snapping photos of Oscorp records, following trails most people ignore. Her narration cuts in, there's a storm coming. Something bigger than this city. And someone out there knows the truth. She catches glimpses of Spider-Man during battles, camera in hand, her determination burning as bright as the fire in her eyes. The conflict tightens. Explosions rip through the streets. A subway derails in the dark. Spider-Man dives headfirst into disaster, pulling survivors out of the wreckage, his suit torn, his strength fading. A shadow looms in the smoke, the villain's voice echoing, "You can swing from rooftops forever, Spider-Man. But you can't escape what you've already lost." Peter collapses on a rooftop, mask half torn, rain soaking through his skin. His breathing is heavy, his resolve shaken. For the first time, the audience sees a hero doubting not just his strength, but his reason to keep fighting. The screen cuts to black with 3 words whispered by Peter. "Why me?" Again, the night sky burns with fire. New York is under siege. Oscorp towers crackle with unstable energy, neon lights flickering like dying stars. Spider-Man swings through collapsing streets, weaving between flames and falling steel beams. Every swing feels desperate, every move a race against time. The villain's shadow looms larger, now armor glinting in flashes of lightning, voice carrying across the chaos. "This city forgot you, Spider-Man. Soon it won't forget me." We cut to rapid shots, Peter crashing into rubble, webbing a bus from toppling, throwing himself in front of a blast meant for civilians. His body is battered, his mask nearly torn away, but his eyes bloodshot, tired. Yet burning refused to surrender. Amid the wreckage, Sadie Sink's character emerges, camera in hand documenting the destruction, unafraid to run toward danger. She sees Spider-Man at his weakest, struggling to rise. Their eyes meet for the first time, no words, just recognition. For Peter, it's not love at first sight, but something deeper, a spark of connection in a world that erased him. Someone, finally, sees the man behind the mask. Even without knowing his name, the battle crescendos. Spider-Man launches himself into the villain's grip, webs snapping like whips, both figures crashing through glass and steel. Explosions light the sky as Peter whispers under his breath, "This is my brand new day, and I won't waste it." Music swells, epic orchestral strings clashing with pounding drums as we see the final montage, Spider-Man leaping off a skyscraper into the sunrise. Sadie Sink's character piecing together photos of Oscorp, her eyes filled with questions. Civilians cheering even as headlines still doubt him. The mask lying in shadows, water dripping beside it. The screen fades into black. The title appears in bold silver letters. Spider-Man 4, 2026. Brand new day. Silence. Then an ominous laugh breaks through. In a dimly lit alley, a black, viscous substance crawls across the ground, pulsing, alive. A hand reaches down, consumed by the symbiote. The screen cuts before the face is revealed. Post-credit whisper. Every brand new day begins in the dark. The Marvel logo slams onto the screen and the trailer ends.